Success doesn't need to be announced to the world. It's not about making a big splash or seeking constant attention. Real success comes from the work you do when no one is watching. It's about putting in the effort day after day, building yourself up in silence, and letting your results speak for themselves. If you're waiting for someone to cheer you on or validate your progress, you're looking in the wrong place. The real reward is in the growth you experience and the person you become as you work toward your goals. In this audiobook, we're going to talk about why hard work in silence is the true key to success. No flashy displays, no constant social media updates, just relentless action. You'll learn how to stay focused, keep your head down, and do the work that truly matters. The journey might be quiet, but the results will be loud. Stick around, and I'll show you exactly how this mindset can change your life. By the end of this audiobook, you'll be ready to stop seeking approval and start working in silence toward everything you've ever wanted. Stay with me, and let's dive into how you can start making real progress right now. Chapter 1. Success is built in the quiet hours. Success doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come knocking on your door, handing you everything you want. No one is going to show up and say, "Here's your dream life, here's your perfect body, here's your financial freedom." That's not how it works. The truth is, success is built in the quiet hours, when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when it's just you alone, putting in the work. And let me tell you something. The people who understand this, the ones who embrace it, are the ones who rise to the top. Think about the moments when you're by yourself. No cameras, no audience, no one around to validate your effort. What do you do in those moments? Because that right there, that's the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't. It's easy to be motivated when everyone's watching. It's easy to show up when there's an expectation, when there's pressure. But what about when no one's there? What about when it's just you and your thoughts? Do you still show up? Do you still put in the work? That's the real test. See, most people crave recognition. They want to be seen working hard. They want people to acknowledge their struggle, to cheer them on. But let me tell you something. No one is going to care until you've made it. That's just the reality of life. People don't care about your process. They care about your results. And if you spend more time looking for validation than actually improving, you're already losing. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards results. That's why the quiet hours matter. Because while everyone else is busy talking, explaining, making excuses, you're doing the work. You're waking up early, you're staying late, you're pushing through the discomfort, and you're making actual progress. And the best part, when the time comes, you won't have to say a word. Your results will speak for you. There's something powerful about working in silence. It builds character. It builds resilience. It builds the kind of discipline that can't be shaken. See, when you grind in the dark, when you put in the effort without seeking approval, you start developing a different level of confidence. Not the kind that comes from people clapping for you. Not the kind that comes from temporary motivation. But the kind that comes from knowing, deep down, that you earned everything you have. That's real confidence. And let's be clear, this isn't easy. It's not glamorous. No one is going to pat you on the back for sacrificing your weekends. No one is going to congratulate you for choosing discipline over distractions. But that's the point. You don't need them to. You don't need permission to be great. You just need to keep going. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that success is supposed to feel exciting all the time. That every day should be filled with motivation, passion, and breakthroughs. But let me tell you, success is boring. Yes, you heard me right. It's repetitive. It's waking up at the same time, doing the same work, making small improvements day after day after day. And guess what? Most people can't handle that. They want excitement. They want instant gratification. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. And that's why they fail. You see, the ones who succeed are the ones who fall in love with the process, the ones who can sit in the silence, who can embrace the grind without needing anyone to watch, because they understand that results take time. And while everyone else is searching for shortcuts, for hacks, for quick wins, they're building something real. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to disappear for a while, to work so hard in silence that people start wondering what happened to you? Are you willing to be misunderstood, to be doubted, to be overlooked? Because that's part of the journey. When you decide to dedicate yourself to something, not everyone will understand. They'll question you. They'll tell you to take it easy, to live a little, to stop being so obsessed. And if you're not strong enough, you'll listen to them. You'll slow down. You'll start craving approval again. And before you know it, you'll be right back where you started. But if you can stay locked in, if you can commit to the grind, to the late nights, to the early mornings, to the hours of effort that no one sees, then one day you'll wake up and everything will be different. People will start noticing. They'll ask, how did you do it? And you won't have to explain, because your results will say everything. That's why you have to stop chasing validation. Stop announcing your goals. Stop telling everyone what you're going to do, and just do it. Because here's the truth. If you have to talk about it, you're probably not doing it. The real ones, the ones who are actually putting in the work, don't have time to talk. They're too busy grinding. Success is built when no one is watching. When there's no crowd, no applause, no recognition. It's built in the quiet hours, in the moments when you could take a break but you don't. In the moments when you feel like giving up, but you push through anyway. That's when the magic happens. And one day, when the work is done, when the results are undeniable, when people finally start paying attention, you won't need to say a word. Your success will speak for itself. Now stop waiting. Stop looking for approval. Stop making noise. Go put in the work. Chapter 2. The world rewards results, not noise. Hard work speaks for itself. Results speak for themselves. The world doesn't care about how much effort you put in. It doesn't care about how badly you want something or how many times you've told yourself that you deserve it. The world rewards one thing: results. And results don't come from talking. They don't come from announcing your goals to the world. They don't come from convincing people that you're working hard. They come from the work itself. They come from the long hours, the sacrifices, the discipline. And the ones who understand this, the ones who stop looking for recognition and start focusing on real progress, they are the ones who rise to the top. If you have to constantly remind people how hard you're working, then you're doing it wrong. The best never need to explain themselves. They never have to convince anyone of their effort, their discipline, their drive, because the world sees it. And not in the beginning, not when they're struggling, not when they're grinding in silence, but later, when it's all said and done, when the results are undeniable, when people start asking, how did you do it? That's when you know you've made it. Because by then your work has already spoken for itself. The problem is, most people don't want to wait for that moment. They want credit before they've done the work. They want recognition before they've earned it. And that's why they fail. Because while they're busy trying to prove something, the real winners are busy getting better. While they're talking about what they're going to do, someone else is already doing it. And when the time comes, the one who stayed quiet, who focused on improving, who put in the work without seeking approval, that's the one who wins. Discipline is not about proving anything to anyone. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about waking up every day and putting in the effort, even when no one is watching. It's about setting a standard for yourself that is higher than what the world expects from you. Because let me tell you something, if you need applause, if you need people to recognize your efforts in order to stay motivated, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because the truth is, in the beginning, nobody cares. Nobody is going to clap for you. Nobody is going to tell you that you're doing a great job. And if you need that, you're going to quit before you even get started. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards execution. It rewards results. And that's why the ones who truly succeed are the ones who don't waste time talking about their process. They don't need to. They're too busy doing the work. They're too busy improving. And when they finally reach the top, that's when people start noticing. That's when the world finally starts paying attention. Not because they asked for it, not because they demanded recognition, but because their results made it impossible to ignore them. Success is not about making noise. It's not about proving anything to the world. It's about becoming so good that the world has no choice but to notice. It's about being undeniable. And the only way to become undeniable is to work in silence, to put in the hours when no one is watching, to sacrifice when no one is applauding you for it, to keep going when no one believes in you yet. Because that's where the real growth happens. That's where you separate yourself from everyone else. Think about the people who are truly great at what they do, the ones who dominate their industry, who set the standard, who are at the top of their game. Do you think they got there by telling everyone how hard they were working? Do you think they wasted time trying to prove their effort? No, they just worked. They just improved. They focused on the only thing that truly matters, getting better every single day. And eventually, the world took notice. So stop looking for validation. Stop trying to convince people that you're working hard. Stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. Put everything into the work. Get better. Improve every single day. And one day, when the results are there, when the success is undeniable, you won't have to say a word. The world will see it. The world will know. And by then you'll understand that recognition was never the goal. The goal was always to become the best. And the only way to do that is to work hard in silence. Chapter 3. Discipline is a private victory. Discipline is not built when people are watching. It's built when you're alone, when no one is checking in on you, when no one is pushing you, when it's just you, the work, and the decision to either show up or give up. That's when it happens. That's when you separate yourself from everyone else. Because discipline is a private victory before it ever becomes a public one. It's the silent war you fight every single day, the battle between comfort and growth, between excuses and action, between weakness and strength. And the ones who win that battle, the ones who master discipline in private, are the ones who achieve greatness in public. See, success isn't about talent. It's not about luck. It's about habits. It's about what you do when no one is watching. Everyone wants to be great when the spotlight is on them. Everyone wants to be disciplined when people are paying attention. But the question is, what do you do when there's no audience, when there's no applause, when no one will ever know if you took the easy way out? That's where real discipline is tested. And let me tell you something, if you can't stay committed when no one is watching, you'll never succeed when they are. People love to talk about what they're going to do. They love to post about their goals, about their plans, about their grind. But talking about it isn't the same as doing it. Saying you're disciplined doesn't make you disciplined. The only thing that matters is what happens in those quiet moments. The alarm goes off. Do you hit snooze or get up? You're tired. Do you push through or make an excuse? You feel unmotivated. Do you stay consistent or do you quit? That's where discipline is built, and no one will ever see those moments. No one will ever know how many times you chose effort over ease. But that's the point. That's why it's a private victory. Discipline means doing the work even when no one will ever know you did it. It means holding yourself to a standard even when no one is there to hold you accountable. It means choosing to show up every single day, no matter how you feel. And let me tell you, the ones who live by that principle, the ones who build their discipline in silence, they are the ones who go further than anyone ever expected. Because while everyone else is busy making excuses, they are making progress. While everyone else is waiting for motivation, they are already miles ahead. And when the results start showing, when the success becomes undeniable, people will call them lucky. But they won't see the years of quiet discipline that made it all possible. The truth is, most people struggle with discipline because they think it should feel good. They think they should feel motivated, energized, excited to work hard. But that's not how it works. Discipline isn't about feelings, it's about decisions. It's about choosing the hard thing, day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when you'd rather do anything else. Because that's the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't. The ones who succeed are the ones who train themselves to act, no matter how they feel. Let me ask you something. What if no one ever praised you for your effort? What if no one ever clapped for you, ever encouraged you, ever acknowledged your hard work? Would you still do it? Would you still push yourself? Because if your answer is no, then you're not really disciplined. You're just performing. You're just working hard for approval, for validation, for recognition, and that's not discipline. That's insecurity. True discipline is doing the work with no need for applause. It's becoming so committed to your own standards that external validation doesn't even matter. Think about the people who truly dominate their fields, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the high achievers. Do you think they rely on motivation? Do you think they need someone cheering them on every step of the way? No, they show up because they made a decision. They train when they don't feel like it. They work when they'd rather rest. They push when it would be easier to stop. And because they win the private battles, they win the public ones too. You have to start seeing discipline as your personal responsibility. Not something you do for praise. Not something you do when it's convenient. But something you do because it's who you are. You train even when no one is watching. You study even when no one is testing you. You improve even when no one is paying attention. Because in the end, everything you do in private will eventually show up in public. Every hour of effort, every sacrifice, every choice to stay disciplined, it all adds up. And one day, when the world finally sees the results, when they call you talented, lucky, gifted, you'll know the truth. You'll know that it wasn't luck, it wasn't talent, it was discipline. So if you really want success, if you really want to separate yourself from everyone else, stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop expecting discipline to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to challenge you, to push you, to force you to grow. And the only way to develop that kind of strength is to start winning the private battles, to start showing up when no one is watching, to start proving to yourself that you have what it takes. Because once you master that, once you learn how to be disciplined in silence, the rest will take care of itself. Chapter 4. Excuses are loud, but work is silent. Success is not just something that happens to a select few, it's something that is available to all of us, regardless of where we come from, what we've been through, or what we're facing right now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to make it happen. Too many people spend their lives watching others achieve great things, wondering why it's happening for them, but not for themselves. What they don't realize is that the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple action. Success doesn't come to you in a flash. It's not an accident, and it's not a stroke of luck. It's the result of consistent, purposeful action that pushes you closer to your goals every single day. The moment you make the decision to step into the person you're meant to be is the moment your life begins to change. Success is built on small decisions, small actions, and those little moments when you choose to rise above the challenges you face, instead of allowing them to hold you back. It's about making that decision every single day, even when the world feels like it's pushing against you. The world doesn't always make it easy to pursue your dreams. Life gets complicated, people doubt you, and you encounter roadblocks you didn't expect. But none of that matters. What matters is your commitment to keep going, to push through even when it seems impossible. The reality is that no one ever succeeded without facing setbacks. But success is not about never failing, it's about how you respond when things go wrong. It's about your ability to get back up, to try again, and to keep your eyes fixed on the goal ahead of you, no matter how many times you stumble along the way. Imagine for a second that you could transform every setback into a lesson. Imagine that every failure you face is actually preparing you for the next step in your journey. The only reason people give up on their dreams is because they believe that failure means the end of the road. But in reality, it's just a sign that you're on the right path. The key is to embrace failure as part of your journey. When you do that, you give yourself the freedom to keep going without the fear of messing up. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who have never failed, they're the ones who failed the most and still kept going. They understood that the journey to success is not linear. It's filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, but it's always moving forward as long as you keep pushing. Success is earned, not given. It's not handed to you on a silver platter. It's something you have to fight for every single day. What makes success so rewarding is that it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey, and you are the one who is responsible for taking those first steps. When you commit to something, you have to be willing to stick with it for the long haul. It's easy to start something, to get excited about a new idea or goal, but the true test comes in the follow-through. It's in those moments when you feel like quitting, when the excitement has worn off, and you're left with nothing but hard work, that your success is built. This is when the real growth happens. This is when you discover the depths of your strength, your resilience, and your commitment to yourself and your dreams. No one ever became successful by backing down when things got tough. The people who make it to the top are the ones who refuse to quit, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It's in the moments when you think you've hit a wall, when everything seems to be going wrong, that you need to dig deep. Those are the moments that separate the dreamers from the doers. Success is a choice. It's the choice to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to where you want to be. You may not see the results right away, but if you keep going, they will come. The path to success is never easy, and there will be days when you question yourself and wonder if it's all worth it. But in those moments, you have to remind yourself why you started. You have to remember the vision you have for your life and keep moving forward, no matter what. The power of discipline cannot be overstated. It's the foundation upon which all success is built. Discipline is what allows you to stay focused on your goals, even when distractions come your way. It's what keeps you going when motivation fades, and it's what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who just talk about them. Discipline is the force that pushes you to show up every day, to put in the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather do something else. And here's the thing, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you choose to do what's necessary instead of what's easy, you're strengthening your discipline. The more disciplined you become, the more momentum you build, and the closer you get to your goals. But discipline doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time, and it takes effort. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for motivation to strike. We all want that burst of energy that pushes us to take action, but the truth is, motivation isn't always there when you need it. What's there, though, is your discipline. It's in those moments when you don't feel like doing the work that your discipline kicks in. It's what keeps you going when everything else is telling you to quit. Success doesn't rely on motivation. It relies on your ability to stick to your goals and work toward them every single day. When you can build that discipline, there's nothing that can stand in your way. So if you're serious about achieving your dreams, it's time to make the decision to take action. It's time to stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. The world is full of people who wish for success, but only a small percentage of them are willing to put in the work to make it a reality. If you want to be part of that small percentage, you have to commit to your vision. You have to take responsibility for your actions and stop letting the fear of failure hold you back. There's no secret formula to success. It's just about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process. Remember, success doesn't come easy, but it's worth it. The journey is hard, but the rewards are greater than anything you can imagine. And when you keep moving forward, when you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll realize that you were always capable of achieving everything you set out to do. The only thing that was ever standing in your way was the decision to believe in yourself and take action. And now that you've made that decision, there's nothing that can stop you. Keep going. Stay disciplined. Keep moving forward. The success you've been waiting for is already on its way. Chapter 5. The power of staying humble and focused. Your dream life is within reach, but it will never come to you unless you take action right now. It's not going to knock on your door or show up as an unexpected gift. Success doesn't happen just because you want it to. It's the result of constant effort, unrelenting discipline, and the ability to make decisions every single day that bring you closer to your goals. Let me tell you this. If you're waiting for a magical moment, the stars to align, or for everything to be perfect before you make your move, you're wasting your time. The world doesn't work that way. Nothing happens unless you make it happen. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the action you haven't yet taken, the steps you haven't started walking. Every day you have two choices: to move forward or to stay where you are. And every time you choose to stay still, you're making the decision to delay your success. So many people dream big. They talk a big game, they want the rewards, but they don't want to put in the work. They think success will fall into their laps, when in reality the world doesn't hand things out easily. It's about creating your own path. You want to live the life of your dreams. Then start working toward it today, not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to succeed. You're the only one who needs to give yourself permission, and when you do, your entire life will change. The truth is, the path to success isn't glamorous. It's not going to be easy, and it's not always going to feel good in the moment. But what you have to understand is that every small step you take forward is bringing you closer to where you want to be. People think that success is a straight line, that it's all about the big moments, the milestones, the celebrations. But that's not it. Success is built on the daily grind, the consistent actions, and the willingness to keep going when you don't feel like it. Most people only want to take the shortcut, the quick route to success, but the reality is, there's no easy way, there's no hack, there's no magic trick. You have to earn it, and you do that through the habits you build every single day. What separates the people who achieve success from those who don't is their ability to embrace discomfort. The ones who make it are the ones who aren't afraid of the struggle. They don't shy away from hard work, they don't run from challenges, and they don't quit when things get tough. They push through. Every failure, every setback, every obstacle they encounter is just another opportunity to grow. It's in those difficult moments, when you feel like giving up, that your true character is revealed. It's in those moments of adversity that you can either rise or fall, and the people who rise are the ones who have the courage to keep going, even when they're not sure how. They trust the process, and they trust themselves. They know that every step they take, no matter how small, is progress. You're going to face days when you question everything. You'll have moments when you feel like nothing is working, like you're stuck, or like you're spinning your wheels. But here's the key: persistence. You keep going, you keep taking action. Even when it doesn't feel like things are moving forward, they are. Every action you take, every decision to keep pushing forward, even when you don't feel like it, adds up. The compounding effect of small actions over time is what leads to massive results. What seems like a tiny effort today becomes a powerful force tomorrow. But you have to stick with it. You have to show up every single day, even when it's hard, and keep working. Success is a habit. It's about the small things you do every day, day in and day out, that eventually lead to big results. It's the decision to keep going when no one is watching, when you feel like no one cares, and when it seems like no progress is being made. The fact is, the journey to success is often a lonely one. Very few people will understand the sacrifice, the discipline, and the relentless effort you put into your dreams. It's easy to get distracted by what others are doing. It's easy to look at the highlight reels on social media and feel like you're falling behind. But remember, the only person you need to focus on is you. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. Everyone is at a different stage in their life, and the only thing that matters is where you're going and how you're going to get there. The key is to stay focused on your own path, on your own goals, and never lose sight of why you're doing this in the first place. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of achieving what you set your mind to. Success comes when you stop looking for validation and start creating your own reality. Now you might be wondering, how do I stay motivated when things get tough? The answer is simple: you don't rely on motivation. Motivation is temporary, it's fleeting, and it's unreliable. If you're waiting for motivation to get you to your goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline and consistency are what keep you moving forward. Motivation is an emotional state, but discipline is a mindset. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation runs out. It's about committing to the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's about creating a routine that you follow every day, whether you're feeling motivated or not. The best way to make progress toward your goals is by building the habit of consistency. When you make consistent progress, no matter how small, you build momentum, and momentum makes success inevitable. At the end of the day, The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't about talent, luck, or timing. It's about perseverance, discipline, and the willingness to keep going when everyone else has given up. If you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, you have to make the decision today to take action. You have to commit to doing the work, no matter how hard it gets, and trust that the effort you put in now will pay off in the long run. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey, and the only way to move forward is by taking that first step. The time to start is now. The life you want is out there waiting for you, but it's up to you to go out and get it. Stop waiting, stop dreaming, and start doing. The world is waiting for you to show up. Don't let another day go by without taking action toward your goals. You've got this. Chapter 6. Be so good. They can't ignore you. Becoming exceptional isn't about following trends or getting caught up in what's popular right now. It's about mastering your craft to such a degree that people can't ignore you. The world doesn't need more noise, more shallow efforts, more distractions. It needs people who are so good at what they do, so focused on excellence, that they don't need to scream for attention. When you're that good, the world has no choice but to notice. It's time to stop asking for permission, stop waiting for validation, and stop looking for external signals that you're on the right track. The truth is, when you're at your best, you don't need anyone else to recognize you. Your work will do all the talking for you. Your results will be undeniable. The key is in becoming so good at what you do that your presence is impossible to ignore. It's not about looking for opportunities. It's about creating them by simply showing up and giving your best every single day. The reason most people struggle is because they are too busy trying to be noticed by everyone. They want the approval, the recognition, the applause, but those things are temporary. They fade away. They don't last. What lasts is your reputation, and that's built by being excellent, by being so good that the world can't help but acknowledge you. Excellence doesn't need an introduction. It doesn't need fanfare. It doesn't need anyone to tell you how amazing you are. The work itself speaks louder than any words ever could. You see, when you focus on being the best, you stop worrying about what others think of you. You stop caring about whether they see your efforts or not. Instead, you pour all your energy into being exceptional at what you do. You dedicate yourself to continuous improvement, to perfecting your craft, to being the best version of yourself every day. The results come from that commitment, not from hoping someone will notice how hard you're working. When you master something, when you truly become good at it, recognition isn't something you chase. It's something that naturally follows you. The truth is, most people are chasing the wrong things. They're chasing likes, comments, followers, validation. They're chasing external things that are fleeting and shallow. But when you focus on mastering your skill, the recognition you want comes naturally. You create a reputation for yourself that people can't ignore. And when you reach that point, you realize that the opinions of others don't matter anymore. All that matters is the work and the growth. And you'll find that once you're truly great, the world will come to you. That's the secret. Don't chase the attention. Let the attention come to you as a result of your excellence. People are attracted to greatness, but greatness isn't something you can force or fake. It's something you earn. It's something you create by relentlessly working on your craft, by staying focused, by refusing to settle for mediocrity. When you do that, when you become so good at what you do, your reputation precedes you. People will come to you for your expertise. They'll seek you out because they can't find anyone else who does it better. That's how powerful excellence is. It creates a magnetic force that attracts opportunities, respect and success. But here's the kicker. Becoming that good isn't about trying to impress others. It's about improving yourself for your own satisfaction. It's about doing the work because you want to be the best you can be, not because you want to be recognized. And when you make that shift, when you make the work about your own growth, not about others' opinions, that's when you unlock real power. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop seeking approval and start earning respect. And the beauty of it is that the more you focus on getting better, the more recognition you'll get, not because you're chasing it, but because it's the natural consequence of your excellence. Now imagine if you committed to this every day. Imagine if you stopped comparing yourself to others and focused entirely on becoming the best version of yourself. Imagine if you put all your energy into your craft, into your growth, into improving your skills. Over time, you would become so good that people couldn't ignore you. Your reputation would spread. People would seek you out for your expertise. Opportunities would find you. But none of this would come from chasing attention or validation. It would come from being so good at what you do that you couldn't be overlooked. In the end, the people who truly succeed aren't the ones who are always looking for the next opportunity. They're the ones who are so good at what they do that the opportunities come to them. They're the ones who don't need to shout about their greatness. They just show up, do the work, and let their results speak for themselves. That's the kind of success you want. The kind of success that comes from mastery, not from the noise. So stop trying to prove yourself. Stop seeking attention. Stop looking for validation. Start focusing on being so good at what you do that no one can ignore you. Your work will speak for you. And when you become the best, you won't have to ask for anything. Everything you've ever wanted will come to you. Chapter 7. Hard work stays, talk fades. When it comes to building a lasting legacy, there's one truth you can't ignore. Hard work doesn't fade away. It stays. The loud talkers, the ones who boast about how hard they work or how successful they are, they fade away. Their words lose power over time. But the people who put in the work quietly, day after day, those are the ones who leave a mark. Those are the ones who will be remembered long after the noise dies down. It's not about how loud you shout. It's about how strong you stand in silence, doing what you said you would do and letting your actions do all the talking. This is one of the most powerful lessons you can learn. The world rewards results. It rewards the people who show up every day, rain or shine, without seeking validation or applause. It rewards the people who don't need to tell everyone how hard they're working, because their results speak for themselves. Think about the most successful people in the world, the ones who have built something meaningful. You know what they have in common. They didn't spend all their time talking about their journey. They didn't waste energy on convincing others how hard they were working. Instead, they kept their heads down, focused on the process, and let the results speak for themselves. When you work hard in silence, you're making a statement without saying a word. Your actions are loud enough. They carry the weight of your dedication, your discipline, and your focus. You're not waiting for anyone to notice you. You're not hoping for a round of applause. You're simply doing what needs to be done, because you understand that the work is what matters. When the results come, people will take notice. And by then you won't need to say anything. You'll have already proven your worth. Think about it for a moment. How many people do you know who are constantly talking about their big plans, their goals, their dreams, but never seem to get anywhere? They're quick to tell you about their ideas, but they're not actually doing the work to make those ideas a reality. The problem with this is that while they're busy talking, others are out there working quietly, getting things done. The person who is working silently is the one who's actually moving toward their goals. They're not wasting time talking about what they're going to do. They're focused on what they're actually doing. And that's why they succeed. Because success is not built on words, it's built on action. We live in a world where everyone is trying to grab attention. Social media, the internet, the constant need to show the world how amazing we are, it's all part of the noise. But the reality is, the more you talk about what you're doing, the less likely it is that you're actually doing it. The people who are truly successful are the ones who don't need to make noise. They don't need to tell everyone what they're up to. They simply show up, do the work, and let the results speak for themselves. I want you to understand something. If you're working on something important, something that really matters to you, there's no need to constantly remind the world about it. The people who are truly committed to their craft don't need to advertise their efforts. They're too busy doing the work, making progress, and getting better every single day. And over time, the results start to speak for themselves. People will notice, they'll see the dedication, the persistence, and the growth. They'll see the results, and they'll understand that your success wasn't a fluke, it was earned. The key here is to stay focused. Don't get caught up in what other people are doing. Don't waste your energy trying to compete or prove yourself to others. Instead, focus on becoming the best at what you do. Don't talk about it. Don't boast about it. Just do it. And when you've put in the work, when the results are undeniable, that's when people will start to notice. They'll look at what you've accomplished and realize that you were quietly working behind the scenes, doing what was necessary to achieve success. This isn't just about business. This applies to every area of life. Whether you're building a career, improving your health, strengthening your relationships, or working on personal development, the principle remains the same. Hard work doesn't need to be advertised. It speaks for itself. If you're constantly talking about how hard you're working, chances are you're not actually doing the work you should be. It's easy to get caught up in the need for validation, the need for people to see how much you're doing. But that's not what matters. What matters is the work itself. And here's the thing, the more you work in silence, the more you build your own inner strength. You become someone who doesn't need external validation to keep going. You don't need applause or recognition to keep pushing forward. You're driven by your own commitment to your goals, your own desire to improve, and your own belief in your ability to succeed. And when you build this kind of inner resilience, that's when you start to achieve things that others can only dream of. Because you're not relying on anyone else to tell you that you're on the right path, you know it yourself. You trust in the process. You believe in your work. And you let the results speak for themselves. So let me leave you with this. If you want to achieve anything significant, don't waste time talking about it. Don't waste energy convincing others of your potential. Instead, put in the work. Focus on getting better every day. Make the decision to stay silent and let your actions do the talking. Your results will speak for themselves. And when they do, people will take notice. And when they do, you'll already be exactly where you need to be at the top, having earned every bit of success that comes your way. Chapter 8. The best never seek validation. Greatness doesn't come from the need for external validation. It comes from the quiet strength that comes with knowing your worth, without needing anyone else to confirm it for you. You see, the truly successful individuals, the ones who make a real lasting impact, don't seek validation. They don't crave applause or recognition from others. Their focus is entirely on the work, the mission, the vision they are building. They know that the real measure of their success lies in their own ability to stay focused, committed, and to keep pushing forward, regardless of whether or not anyone else acknowledges their efforts. The truth is, when you're building something meaningful, when you're working on a goal that truly matters, you're going to face moments when no one notices. There will be long hours, days, and maybe even weeks, where it feels like your work is invisible. And that's okay. The best don't care if others see them working. They care about the progress they're making, the value they're creating, and the impact they will have in the long run. You'll find that the more you invest in your growth and your purpose, the less you feel the need to seek out praise. At first it might be hard. We're all human, and we all want recognition. But eventually you come to realize that the opinions of others, whether positive or negative, won't make or break you. What truly matters is the effort you're putting in, the person you're becoming, and the legacy you're building. There's something incredibly powerful about working quietly, with no expectations of accolades, just for the sake of doing your best. It allows you to stay focused. It allows you to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. The moment you start to seek validation, you divert your energy away from the work itself. Validation becomes a distraction, a noise you don't need. The moment you let go of the need to please others, the moment you stop looking for external approval, is the moment you start to build something unstoppable. The most successful people in any field don't need to be told they're doing great. They know it. They trust the process. They understand that the reward will come in time, but they don't need immediate confirmation. Their pride comes from the satisfaction of knowing they did their best, that they gave it their all. The truth is, the best aren't doing it for praise. They're doing it because it's who they are. They are driven by something bigger than applause. They're driven by a desire to create, to improve, and to contribute. They're driven by a deep sense of purpose that doesn't rely on anyone else's opinion. When you're constantly seeking validation, you're giving away your power. You're letting someone else decide whether or not you're worthy. And that's no way to live. True power comes when you take full responsibility for your journey. You stop looking for validation from others because you realize that you're the only one who truly knows your worth. You're the one who decides how far you'll go, how much effort you'll put in, and what success looks like for you. The desire for validation often stems from a place of insecurity. We all want to feel like we matter, like our efforts are worth something. But the truth is, the only validation you need is from yourself. The work you do, the sacrifices you make, the progress you achieve, it all speaks for itself. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your results, your dedication, your perseverance, they're the best proof of your worth. And when you let go of the need for others to validate you, you open yourself up to a level of freedom and confidence that few will ever experience. Here's the powerful part about all of this. When you stop seeking validation, you begin to attract the right kind of attention. People will notice your work, not because you asked them to, but because it speaks for itself. The ones who matter, the ones who truly understand the value you bring, will recognize your efforts. And those are the people who will appreciate you for who you are, not for what they think you can give them. They will respect your commitment, your discipline, and your ability to stay focused on the journey, regardless of external noise. If you spend all your time seeking approval, you'll never truly own your success. You'll always be looking for the next pat on the back, the next compliment, the next affirmation. But that's not how real success works. Real success comes when you stop seeking approval and start trusting yourself. It comes when you stop doubting your abilities and believe, deep down, that you are capable of achieving great things. When you believe in yourself, the world will eventually take notice. But more importantly, you'll be able to take pride in your journey, because you know that you did it for the right reasons, not for the praise of others. The best part about this is that when you stop seeking validation, you become the kind of person who can truly lift others up. You're not focused on your own insecurities or on how you're perceived. You're focused on growing, improving, and becoming the best version of yourself. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. When you lead by example, when you put in the work without expecting recognition, you show others that they can do the same. You show them that success is not about the accolades. It's about the process, the discipline, and the commitment to something greater than yourself. The key takeaway here is simple. Don't wait for validation from others. Create your own validation by putting in the work, staying focused on your goals, and trusting yourself. The people who matter will recognize your efforts, but more importantly, you'll know deep inside that you're on the right path. You'll know that you're building something that will last, and that's the kind of success that will never fade. So keep working, keep pushing forward, and let your results speak for themselves. Chapter 9. Work on yourself, and the world will take notice. Success isn't something that just happens overnight. It's not about a single breakthrough or a moment of good luck. True success is built through a series of deliberate actions, small decisions, and consistent effort that compounds over time. The most successful people in the world aren't lucky. They're persistent. They've chosen to take action, to make the hard decisions, and to show up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it. They understand that the road to greatness is not a sprint, but a marathon. It's about getting up every day, no matter what the circumstances are, and giving your best. If you've ever wondered why some people make it while others don't, it's because those who succeed refuse to give up when the going gets tough. They push through the challenges, and they continue to push through every obstacle that comes their way, because they know that success doesn't belong to the people who give up, it belongs to the people who keep going. There's a misconception that successful people don't struggle, that they don't experience moments of doubt or discouragement. The truth is, every person who's achieved something meaningful has faced their fair share of setbacks. They've experienced the pressure, the fear, and the uncertainty. But what separates them from the ones who quit is that they never allowed those feelings to stop them. They felt the fear, and they did it anyway. They experienced the pain, and they pushed through it. Because they understood something fundamental: your growth comes from your ability to keep moving forward, no matter what. What makes someone truly unstoppable is their ability to keep showing up. The person who wants to achieve greatness knows that it's not about making everything perfect or avoiding failure. It's about staying consistent. It's about continuing to take action, even when things don't seem to be working out the way you imagined. It's about working through the doubt, the fear, and the frustrations. It's about waking up every single day and making the decision to put in the work. The reality is, the journey to success isn't going to be easy. There will be times when it feels like you're putting in everything and nothing is coming back to you. That's when most people give up. That's when they throw in the towel. But if you want to be successful, you have to learn how to stay in the game, even when it feels like nothing is working. You have to trust the process. You have to believe in your own ability to overcome the challenges and to keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. When you don't see immediate results, that's when most people lose faith. They get discouraged, they start doubting themselves, and they begin to wonder if it's all worth it. But the people who achieve greatness know that success is a result of relentless action. They understand that the real progress happens in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, and when it seems like nothing is happening. They know that it's during these moments that your character is being built, that your resilience is being tested. It's in these moments that you have the chance to prove to yourself that you won't give up, no matter what. You'll hear stories about successful people who talk about how long it took for them to finally get their big break, and you'll see that many of them didn't give up after a few setbacks. They stayed committed, they kept showing up, and they kept doing the work, even when they couldn't see the end in sight. One of the biggest keys to success is the ability to stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it. The truth is, consistency is what turns dreams into reality. It's the daily actions, the small decisions you make every day, that determine your outcome. You don't have to do everything perfectly, and you don't have to see massive results every day, but you have to keep moving. You have to keep showing up, even when it's hard. When you keep showing up, even on the days that you don't feel like it, you are creating momentum. And momentum is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. The moment you stop showing up, the moment you give up, is the moment you stop making progress. You're either moving forward or falling behind. There is no neutral. Success requires a certain mindset. It requires the belief that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you can handle whatever challenges come your way. But mindset alone won't get you there. It's the actions you take, the small steps you take every day, that will build your future. The successful people you admire didn't get there by thinking about it. They got there by doing it. They took massive action, and they kept taking action every day, no matter what. So when you feel the urge to give up, when you feel like the obstacles are too big, remember this: your breakthrough is just on the other side of that challenge. You can't afford to quit. Now, if you want success, you have to push through. The best way to guarantee success is to never stop working. The person who's committed to their dreams doesn't let anything get in the way. They've made a decision to succeed, and they won't allow anything, nothing stand in their way. They've made their vision their top priority, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. If you want to be successful, you have to adopt that same mindset. You have to make the decision right now that no matter what happens, you will never give up. No matter how hard things get, no matter how many times you fall down, you will always get back up. You will always keep moving forward, because that is the only way to achieve true success. It's easy to look at successful people and think that their journey was easier than yours. It's easy to think that they didn't face the same struggles, but the truth is, everyone who's achieved greatness has had their own share of battles. They've faced the same fears, the same doubts, and the same challenges. The difference is, they didn't let those challenges stop them. They didn't let those obstacles define them. Instead, they used them as fuel to keep moving forward. They understood that every setback, every failure, was just part of the process. It wasn't a sign to quit. It was a sign to keep going. If you're serious about achieving your goals, you have to make that same decision. You have to decide that you won't let anything stop you. You have to decide that you will never quit. And the moment you make that decision, the moment you commit to pushing through the challenges, the moment you refuse to give up, is the moment your success begins. So stay focused, stay committed, and above all, stay relentless. The rewards will come, but only if you refuse to stop, only if you keep going. No matter what, keep moving forward, and your success will follow. Chapter 10. When the time is right, your work will speak for you. Success isn't just a dream. It's something you build every single day. It's a series of choices, actions, and commitments that shape your life into the reality you've always imagined. The most successful people didn't wake up one day with everything handed to them. They built their success, brick by brick, step by step, and sometimes they built it through sheer determination when everything seemed to be falling apart. They didn't sit back and wait for the right moment. They created it. They understood one of the most crucial principles to life: if you want something, you have to be relentless in pursuing it. And when you make that choice, when you decide that no matter the circumstances, you're going to succeed, that's when the game changes. The reality is, success isn't always glamorous. It doesn't always come in a shiny package. Often it comes from the struggles, the challenges, and the setbacks you face along the way. You'll have days where everything feels difficult, where it seems like no matter how hard you try, things aren't working out. That's when most people quit. They throw in the towel, they give up, and they stop moving forward. But if you're watching this, you're different. You're someone who is determined, someone who refuses to let failure define you. You're someone who understands that the most valuable things in life are often the hardest to get. And that's where true success lies, beyond the point where everyone else has given up. Let me tell you something. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't is one thing: consistency. The ability to stay committed, to keep showing up even when things aren't working, even when progress seems invisible, is what separates the winners from the rest. Because here's the truth that most people never realize: success doesn't happen overnight. It's not the result of one perfect action or one lucky break. It's the sum of all the small decisions you make every single day. It's the choice to keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's the decision to press forward, even when things don't seem to be working out. The most successful people don't give up just because things aren't going their way. They don't allow a few failures to define them. They know that every setback, every challenge, every difficulty is simply part of the journey. They see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become even stronger. Success doesn't belong to the people who avoid failure. It belongs to the people who learn how to thrive through failure. They understand that failure is just another stepping stone on the path to greatness. The moment you accept that failure is a natural part of the process is the moment you'll unlock the power to push through and reach new heights. When you stop fearing failure and start embracing it as part of your journey, that's when the magic happens. That's when you'll look back at all the moments where you could have given up, where you could have thrown in the towel, and realize that each of those moments was the key to your success. You'll see that every single failure, every rejection, every setback was simply preparing you for the breakthrough that was to come. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's the willingness to keep going when the road gets tough, to keep fighting when everything inside of you is telling you to quit. But here's the secret that most people don't want to hear. Success isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about having the discipline to stay focused on your goal, to cut through the distractions, and to align your daily actions with the bigger vision you have for your life. Success isn't about working yourself to exhaustion. It's about doing the right things, consistently, day in and day out, until your goal becomes your reality. It's about aligning your mindset, your habits, and your actions to create a life that reflects your true potential. When you commit to success, you'll begin to see how the universe aligns to support you. It won't happen overnight, but as you continue to show up with that unshakable belief in your abilities, the pieces will begin to fall into place. Opportunities will appear where there were once obstacles. People will show up to help you along your journey. And most importantly, you'll start to see yourself in a new light. You'll see yourself as someone who doesn't just talk about success, but someone who's actively creating it, one step at a time. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's the process of becoming, of growing, and of evolving into the person you were always meant to be. The person who doesn't back down from challenges, the person who gets up after every fall, the person who remains focused on their vision no matter what. That's who you have to become if you want to achieve greatness. It's not about the outcome, it's about the person you become in the process. Success will come naturally when you focus on growing, on improving, and on pushing through every obstacle that stands in your way. And as you continue on your journey, you'll begin to realize something profound. The harder the journey, the sweeter the reward. The more obstacles you face, the greater the sense of accomplishment you'll feel when you finally reach your goal.